All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be here. Today is the first official episode of Blk Sunflower Live, the podcast. So many people have asked me to do this, and you know what? You have to do things in your own time, right? When you're ready to get it done. So I'm finally ready to get this started, and I'm super excited. What is this podcast about, anyways? Okay. And as you guys are coming in, feel free to leave your comments. Introduce yourself. I want to see who's in here. So this podcast is all about cultivating success while prioritizing self-care while you're on your entrepreneurial journey. Because a lot of us are so focused on just getting the business started, becoming successful, whatever that means, right? And forgetting about our mental health, forgetting about self-care, forgetting about us, forgetting about why we started. So I want to create a space where we can take the time to recognize and remember what we have going on. Simply Gorgeous Glow, welcome. Brianna, welcome. Is it Kamala? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And if you had the opportunity to enter, you can still enter to win this free box of wax, which we're going to be giving away towards the end. I have a special guest today. It's a lot of fun things going on. What's up, Tanisha? Today's episode is actually sponsored by Sierra Candles. They're the ones giving away the free box of wax. And Dana over at Sierra Candle has been amazing. For a long time, people always ask me where I get my waxes from, where I get my fragrance oils from, everything like that. And that's one of the places between them and Candle Science. Those are my main go-tos. So I am so honored to have Dana and Sierra's Candles and her team as a sponsor. So their whole goal, honestly, is about helping people create amazing things. Like, that's their main logo. I'm here to help people create amazing things. And every time I go into her shop, it's always just nothing but warm welcomes and smiles. And it's almost like, you guys remember the show Cheers? I don't want to age myself, right? But Cheers, like, you go to a place where everyone knows your name. Everybody that walks in, they're greeting them with a smile and hello. So enough about that. I just want to let you guys know that Sierra Candles is just amazing at what they do. And they are one of the only places that I know they just upped their free shipping, but wax is not included. But everything over $125 for like fragrances, wicks, it's free shipping, which you know we need now because that shipping is killing us. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown about what we're going to talk about today. Then we're going to hop right into it. So we're going to talk about defining success as an entrepreneur, right? Defining what that really means, knowing when to pivot, as well as preventing complete burnout, because I am just talking from the heart and what I've experienced and what I've been through. And I don't want other people to do that or have to go through it. So that's why we're talking about this today. We're going to talk about who I am. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Blk Sunflower story, but not the entire story. I'm going to actually start from this time last year, because this is when a lot of big changes happened within the brand. I have my special guest, Nick Mitchells of Mitchell Bay Solutions. He's a dear friend of mine, entrepreneur, and we're going to talk about some of the pivots, the pros and cons, and self-care and keeping up and moving. We're going to talk about the TikTok shop suspensions. Have you guys heard about that? Because it's really interesting that it was almost like the Wild Wild West over there on TikTok for a while. People were making really good money, but TikTok put a stop to that. And I kind of want to discuss some of those things. And of course, we're going to have our lovely giveaways. So without further ado, I want to start by asking you guys a question. And think about this, and feel free to leave your comment in the chat. We will definitely come back to it later. I want to ask you guys, are you living up to your dreams as an entrepreneur? Or are other people or outside influences making a difference in your decisions when it comes to your entrepreneurial success or what your idea of success is? So are you truly living up to your goals? Or is there something or someone else out there that kind of has their finger at play as to what those goals are and what defines whether you're successful or not? Okay, so feel free to leave that in the comment. I want to come back and discuss this a little bit later. talk about who am I. For those of you who do not know, my name is Jazz, owner and founder of Blk Sunflower. I started off as a candle company, but has become so much more. In the beginning, people always ask me, why isn't it called Blk Sunflower Candle Company? Here's the first business tip I'm going to give you guys. When creating a business, even if it is a candle business, when you add candles to your name, you pigeonhole yourself. So you're not able, yes, you can expand, but you're just known for that one thing. When I started Blk Sunflower, I knew it was a brand. It was more than just a candle company. It was a brand. So this is just one of the many businesses I've had. Before the candle company, I was a fitness nutrition and weight loss specialist. I help people reach the better versions of, I don't say the better versions of ourselves, because we're always reaching for the best. I don't think we'll ever really get there, right? But it's great to try to work your way up there. And before that, I've sold many things. I've done a lot of things in my life. But overall, through all these times, I never really put self-care and mental health in the forefront. When I started Blk Sunflower, I started it out of a space of need. Okay. I started Blk Sunflower because the pandemic started and I needed extra money. I just wanted to pay my car note, pay my phone bill, pay a little bit of rent, but I wasn't expecting it to become what it has become. I have been a businesswoman for years. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting and marketing. I have held many different businesses. Some would say successful, some would say not successful. Just because the business is not going at the moment doesn't mean that it's not successful. I took what I needed to learn from that particular business and I moved on and created new things. But I took everything that I learned and developed it into these different businesses. So be it. The Blk Sunflower story. I'm making this very short and sweet because definitely check out some of my other videos. Go visit the uplift video. You can get the entire story. And I don't want to harp you guys too much about that today. But I do want to talk about this time last year for Blk Sunflower. It was a very difficult time. By that time, I was clearing but let's see, last year I had already reached over into the 7-figure mark for the Blk Sunflower brand, not just candle, but the Blk Sunflower brand as a whole. Because remember, it's really important that you have multiple sources of income, right? So thank you. Multiple sources of income. And what I realized is even though the money was coming in, I was not happy. Why wasn't I happy? Because I sat back and I realized I was not living up to my expectations. I was not living up to my dreams. Everything that I was doing was based upon what everyone else felt that Blk Sunflower should do, what Blk Sunflower should accomplish. With that being said, people expected me to get bigger. People expect me, what stores do you want to be in? Where do you want to go next? Are you going to go overseas? Like, what are the next things for Blk Sunflower? That's everybody wanted to hear that from me. And when I really sat back and thought about it, I was like, this isn't even where I want to go. So when you're defining whether you want to start a business, what your business is going to be, remember your why. Because I strayed so far away from my why that I didn't even know what I was doing, what I was getting into, or where I was going. So I took a step back, and I was honestly forced to take a step back. My mental health took a plummet. I spent a good 2 months pretty much in my bed, in my house. I didn't want to do anything. Last Christmas, you guys, when I don't really like talking numbers, but I'm going to talk numbers here. Last Christmas was one of the lowest revenue generating months for me since I started Blk Sunflower. Why? Because I did not care. I no longer cared. Whatever was up on my website was up. I'll get that stuff out to them, but I wasn't making anything new. I even made less than my first month of opening. That's how bad it was, you guys. It was bad. My first month, I take it back. I didn't make less. I made just about that much. I think candle wise, it was around $5,000. Around $5,000. And think of this, I don't have a 9-to-5. I had I had other sources of revenue for my bigger accounts, but blksunflower.com, the website, had never generated that little of revenue. Why? Because I stopped caring. And when you're burnt out, that's when you stop caring. Not because Some people say, oh, well, you have bills to pay. Yes, I understand. I have bills to pay. I had things I need to do. I had things I need to take care of. But my mental state, my emotional well-being had took such a big hit trying to live up to something that I didn't even want to be. I knew it was time to take a step back. When I closed my shop, everyone was like, well, what is everyone else going to think? You closed your shop. I did not care at that point. I knew what I needed. I had my fulfillment center. It's something that people dream of. I would love to have a fulfillment center. That you must be making it. It must be things are grand. That's not it, you guys. Stop looking at what other people have and what other people are accomplishing, comparing yourself, and then making yourself feel you're not good enough. Okay? Let that sink in for a second. Stop comparing yourself, because everything that you guys saw through the lens of social media, through my website, in everybody's eyes, everything's great. She should be doing amazing. But that was not the case. Okay? So in order to even uphold a fulfillment center, do you guys realize the amount of output that you have to put out in order to keep that fulfillment center running, keep employees taken care of? At that point in time, I had 2 rents. Technically, I had 3 rents because I had the fulfillment center. I had 2 phone bills, I take you back, I had more than 2 phone bills. I had 2 internet, 2 water bills, insurance for both places. There was a lot of stuff going on. So yes, you see all the glitz and glamour in the outside facade, but what's going on internally? Is that person okay? Are you okay? So stop letting social media dictate what success is, not only for you, for your business, because it's going to drive you crazy. It's going to put you in your bed under your covers, just not caring. Okay. So that's where I want to start off with that. I don't mean to start off on a bad note, but I think it's important that people hear this. Main reason, this is one of the main topics I want to cover on this podcast and help people not only figure out ways to move forward within their business so they don't get to the point where they're burnt out. How do you navigate the road of entrepreneurial success? How do you find ways to make things balance within your life? Because that's something that a lot of us are missing. We're so focused on becoming successful that we're missing out on the opportunity or the ability to create balance within our lives. All right. So I hope you guys got a little bit out of that. I want to move right on and actually introduce my guest, Nick Mitchell. Main reason is because we've had a lot of conversations over the past year about this exact same topic. We have this inside joke where sometimes I'll call him or he'll call me and I'm like, man, it sounds like somebody ran over your pet squirrel, dude. Like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, you know. And one thing that our conversations always align with is not just pivoting, but also learning when to take care of ourselves and not letting outside opinions dictate who we are or where we're going next in our business world. So without further ado, I am going to bring Sir Nick Mitchell up. Welcome, Nick. How's it going?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good, good. I feel like I think I just had you on not too long ago. We were at Instagram Live. I was like, this
Yes.
seems very familiar very quickly.
Yeah, we were on Instagram Live.
Awesome. So Nick, can you do me a favor and introduce yourself? Tell a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why have you here?
So my name is Nick Mitchell. I am an entrepreneur. I started my entrepreneurial journey in 2019. But to be honest, you could probably go back further to middle school where I had the candy. I was the candy man. I had a t-shirt business. I had all that. So entrepreneurship has always been in my blood, and what I knew that eventually I wanted to do. But my official start was my sneaker business. It's called Fresh Kicks Market, where we host buy sell trade events in the city. So I live in Atlanta, but I actually met Jazz last year, so we have become friends, really really good friends over this past year. I met her at a Shopify event where she was speaking, and I'm a sneakerhead, so I noticed she had on some Air Jordan Shadow 1s, and I'm like, nobody is rocking the blazer and the whole dress up fit with some sneakers, and they're not a sneakerhead. So ended up talking to her, and she and we connected, we vibed, we found a really good connection, and we brought Fresh Kicks Market to Seattle. And from that point, the friendship just flourished, and we've been doing so many different things. And from there, I've started Mitchell-based solutions, which is my business development service where I help business and clients in different aspects of their business to either start or scale. So that's where I'm at right now. But in between that time, I've had businesses in trucking. I've had a business in rental cars. So I've done a wide array of things. And why you've heard her say she's called me and somebody has killed my pet squirrel, because entrepreneurship will take you through there.
Yes,
So
definitely.
I'm really excited to be on this podcast and share some of that insight and where you should be at, where you should be thinking mindset wise. And Jazz has a lot of a wealth of knowledge in that department. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Well, I'm proud of you, Nick. You have come a really long way. When me and Nick first met, he said he wasn't even going to come up and say hi, because I've mentioned this before in different lives or either other videos that I've done, where networking is so important. It's not just about what you know, it's about who you know. And Nick, you said you had 5 people. You were going to talk to 5 people.
Yeah. I went in there. I actually wrote it down on
And I was
my
one of
list.
them. And you to the
Yeah.
very last minute. Well, not you didn't wait. Nobody lets you get to me until the last minute.
Oh man, she
And
had a mob of people around her. A mob of people.
but you were patient and you
Mhm.
waited it out.
Yeah.
And one really cool thing that I love about this story, Nick, is you just kind of graced over the fact that we did a sneaker market in Seattle. I had never met Nick before a day in my life.
Yeah.
Usually you come to people with the ideas and everyone's like, that's cool, let's link up, we'll do it. I met him one day. The next day I was like, okay, spit to me your idea. What do you have?
Yeah.
He gave me the idea. I was like, you know what? Sounds solid. He had a whole plan. He's done this before. Let's bring it to Seattle. One of the beautiful things about networking, I thought, or I know that a lot of times the people surrounding you in your city are not going to always be the first ones to jump on and support you.
Mm-mm.
Is that true, Nick?
That's very true.
I heard the beat in your voice. Can you tell me a little bit about that and like how you feel about it and how it's kind of shaped you in growing your business?
Yeah, it's an eye opener when you start something, even in your immediate circle. When you start something, those won't be the first people to either congratulate you or to support you or to champion you and say, hey, keep going. It's going to be people that's outside. It's going to be the audience that's outside of your city that's going to be like, yo, this is dope. We want to pull up. We want to help. We want to do all this. And you get taken aback because you think at first, hey, my inner circle is really they're gonna do this for me, or my city gonna rep me because I'm from here. It's not the case, because in your city they've known you for who you are for your whole life. They've known you for this person. They put you in that bubble. But when you go
Right.
into a new city or a new place, a new environment, they see you as you present yourself, that's what happened with First Kicks Market, and we were able to create something special.
Right. And not only that, we put together a market in 3 months with 4 people who did not know each other at all.
Yes.
I put together a team of people that I've known within the community, but we weren't like super locked in.
Mm-hmm.
But it just is a testament to what can be accomplished when you surround yourself with like minded individuals and people who are dreamers and have these goals. And this is one of the reasons I've created not only this platform, but the collective, is bringing people together that are like-minded, because honestly, it hurts when you try to tell your friends and your family and share your vision and your dreams, and they always have something to say, whether you've done something like that before. Shouldn't you do this with your time? Don't you think that's wasteful? And I still hear it to this day. Nick, I know you hear it in almost every entrepreneur I know, because it's not only just hard for businesses right now, it's especially hard for small businesses and entrepreneurs. And how many people say you should just give up? You should just give up, right?
How much are you gonna make from this? How much you gonna get paid right now? Like today, you just started.
Right.
How much you gonna make?
Right, exactly. What's the bottom line? I have an idea of what the bottom line is, but I'm not sure. I don't know exactly where it's going to go right now. I don't know where it's going to go. Right. Exactly. All the advice, and they don't have a business. That's the big one right there.
That's huge.
That is the big one.
Or afraid to jump out the door and do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because you're scared doesn't mean I'm scared. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. Like, if I fall on my face, that's fine. I'll pick myself up and I'll
Yeah.
get back up and do it again. All right. So, Nick, I want to get into this topic of the day. And the topic, once again, is defining your idea of success as an entrepreneur, pivoting, and preventing complete burnout. So, what's your idea of success as an entrepreneur, Nick?
Success as an entrepreneur for me is and I want to say running a successful business, but it's not success on the outside. It's success on the inside.
Mhm.
So whether that be incremental growth over time, and tracking that incremental growth, and being able to maintain that incremental growth, that's success to me. Like if somebody's making $100 a month, that is success in my eyes, because there's people that can't make $100 a month. There's people that can't make $100 or can't make their first sale. So being able to maintain any level of success that you found in the business over a span of time, I feel like that's success as an
I
entrepreneur.
think that's a beautiful definition. I didn't think that way. I guess it kind of goes in a line where us say, if you know better, you do better. I've started stating more of, instead of, there's this thing out there where if you're not successful unless you reach 10K a month. That's like the goal. 10K a month, 10K a month. Like, that's the big entrepreneurial goal, right? But why don't
Yeah,
we focus on at least, like, maybe start by, like you said, making 1 sale a month, making 2 sales a month,
yeah,
making 3 sales a
yeah,
month, then getting up to, okay, I am matching my 9 to 5. I'm consistently matching the revenue that I'm bringing in from my 9 to 5,
yeah,
whatever that is, right? And just changing it. My idea of success after Blk Sunflower ran me into a ditch is doing what I want, when I want, and being happy doing it, period. Even down to now, my website, they sold out most of the time because I don't make candles all the time anymore. I make candles once or twice a month, and once those are gone because I don't want to make candles all the time. Some people say, oh, hire somebody else to do them. Candles are not my main thing. Like, I know what I love. What I love is education. And that's what I've been focusing my time and energy and my resources into. So, um, let's talk about, I have 5 different ways that you can really define your idea of success. And remember, in the beginning, I asked you guys, are you living up to your dreams, or is there somebody else defining your idea of success for you? So I still want you to be thinking about that. And when you can or comfortable enough to answer, please feel free to put it in the comments. I would love to discuss what some of us have to say as well. So first of all, regularly reflect on your definition of success. So my idea of success today may not be the same idea of success I have a few months from now. So it is okay to continue to think about what you're doing. Think about if your goals are aligned. Let's go back to core values and mission statements, or not even go back to it. I haven't brought it up yet. But a lot of us think because we have a small business that we don't need core values or a mission statement. Well, that's going to help you define not only who you work with, how
mhm,
you work within your company, how things aligned. Nick, I know you've been going through a lot of stuff with your business lately.
yeah.
Has your idea of the idea of success that you just gave us, is that new, or is that something that has sort of developed over the past year or so?
It's developed over the past year because
Okay.
um, I thought I had success with my trucking business, and I didn't maintain it. So not being able to maintain it, I was like, that wasn't real success. You were making money, you had a lot of money coming in, but you didn't maintain it correctly, and now it's on the other end of it. So I was like, let me redefine what I thought was success. And initially, I thought success was, I'm making a whole lot of money. I'm doing it. So yeah, I had to pivot and refocus and understand that's not success. Let me figure out how to maintain this, and that would be success.
So what are some of the things, like, I know my values and my priorities
Mhm.
are a huge factor in my doing what I want, when I want, being happy doing it motto.
Mhm.
Um, and it's a little sidetrack, but even to values, it is, if you look on my upflip video, I show a box. And if you look in what Blk Sunflower is, there's a little short, I think it's a 30-second video on my YouTube page. And I'm holding my black box. And it's a beautiful, beautiful box that the candles come in. Gorgeous, right? I've done away with those boxes because when I really sat back and looked at my values, I'm a hippie at heart. I don't like to be extra wasteful. I don't like wasting things. And it just crushed me to think that people would open my box, pick out the packing peanuts, pick out another box, say, oh, this is pretty, pull out the candle and toss the box. And they're doing this time and time and time again. Yeah. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. This did not live up to my values. But you know what it lived up to? The illusion that social media makes me think I need to present in order to be successful. That's what it did. Mm-hmm. Are there any examples that you can think of like that you just pulled back? Yeah, no.
Social media is a killer. Like it's a killer because, I mean, especially when you're an entrepreneur. It's been a renaissance of entrepreneurship. It's just been everybody is now an entrepreneur or wants to be an entrepreneur, and I love it. I mean, I'm not against it at all, but you start to see, mm-hmm. and nobody really posts lows too much because why would you want to post lows? Yeah, well, like everybody posts the highs. So if you're following people that's in your niche, or if you're following people that's in the industry that you're in and they're doing great, and you're seeing less than great, you're like, what am I doing? You know, what's going on? So, and that's why understanding that success isn't just making a whole lot of money, because you see them doing great, they're making money. You think, hey, I'm just making money is the successful part, not knowing what they're doing on the back end, or the hurdle that they had to get over to get to the success, or the system they put in place to maintain the success, or even if they're actually successful in general. Like
that part right there.
Yeah, Woo. Or even knowing, you know what I'm saying? You have no way of knowing that. So
none.
Yeah, that's why social media is hard to navigate in this entrepreneurship world.
Right. And I want to touch on the fact where you said that there's this renaissance of entrepreneurship. And I hope the goal of what this podcast is I don't want to steer people away from being entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. Like, there are so many people who have just basically, I want to keep my words nice, but you know what I'm gonna do? I do have shitted on 9-to-5s, right? Yeah, right. But it's needed. And a lot of people don't realize holding a 9-to-5 while being an entrepreneur, it leaves you that level of a safety net of security.
Yeah.
You know that you have a paycheck coming in every single week does something for you. Because now you're creating products. If they don't sell, you're not creating something, a product or a service, and like, oh my God, I need this to hit. I need this to hit. It's like, oh, if it hits, cool. If it doesn't, okay, cool. I'm still getting paid. So that's one thing right there. Don't knock the 9-to-5. I want to go on to the next one. So the first one we said, regularly reflect on your definition of success. So whether it's once a month, once a quarter, once a year, really take the time to sit down and reflect. Second one, this is my favorite. Embrace strategic pivots.
Yes.
Embrace strategic pivots. So be open to change and recognize when a strategic pivot is necessary for the growth of your business. Develop a mindset that sees challenges as opportunities for innovation and improvement rather than roadblocks. Because a lot of times something will come to us and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to give it all up. I can't do it. It's a failure, right? When this is an opportunity. Sound familiar, Nick, huh?
That's weird. Yeah. I was there not a month ago. Like, I wasn't there too long ago.
Right. So tell us about, you could get as detailed as you like or not like about it, but let's explain some of this.
Oh yeah, it's so with even Mitchell-based solutions, I was like, I don't think, and Jazz had to help me with this. She's like, one step at a time. But I mean, of course, as an entrepreneur, you see this big vision of what it can be and all of that. So I suffer a lot from imposter syndrome, or thinking that, I can't provide a certain level of knowledge or value to people, when the things that I know are second nature to me. And Jazz had to explain it like, hey, that's not something that's just everybody knows. That's something that you can add value in places to people. So seeing the big picture of that and trying to implement it was hard, and you get to a point where you're like, I'm not going to do this. Like, it just seems like, and the reason you say that is because you just want to see this finished product, this big, massive, finished product. But Jazz is one of the people always, that hit me up and be like, one step at a time. Like, what's the first thing that we can do, and go from there. So yeah, that's a real thing of saying, I'm just gonna stop this. This ain't gonna work. What can I provide to these people? But starting with one step and then going to the next step and then going to the next step, that's how it becomes that big, masterpiece that you're looking at.
Right. Or even realizing, like you said, challenges are opportunities for growth. A lot of us on here have e-commerce businesses of some sort. And the theme right now is I'm getting people on my website and getting people on my Instagram, but I'm not getting any sales. I introduced the pre-sale course. The pre-sale course is great. I've used the pre-sale course for years. There are plenty of things that I've launched and nobody has purchased it. And some people will say, okay, well, I'm gonna give up. That's a failure. Well, go back, reassess what you've done. Did you do everything correctly? Did you advertise it correctly? Because I'll be quite honest, I don't know how many times I see somebody post something once on Instagram and then turn around and get sad because nobody purchased anything. You posted it once. You talked about it once. And now you expect people to just know about it? Like, it doesn't work that way, you guys.
You posted it on your product page. You didn't post it on your personal page because you're afraid of what people are going to think when you're selling something now. So you posted on the product page thinking that it was going to blow up.
Where you have a handful of followers.
Yeah, that's not how it works. It's not how it works.
That's not how it works at all.
But speaking to that, just, the fact that you launched something, that is a success. Just in that whole aspect right there, you launched a product, whether it sells or not. You successfully went from idea to manufacturing this idea to launching this idea. That's a success.
And you know what? Even I'll be honest, I completely overlooked that thought as well. Like,
a lot of people don't launch their ideas. They have a lot of ideas and they don't even get nowhere near where you got. If you have a product that's available for people to buy and you have launched it, that is a success.
You are so far ahead of how many other people?
This is about trial and error. I was one of those people that posted something that was sad, like, y'all didn't buy my shirt.
I posted it once. What do you mean you don't like it? You didn't know that?
I posted it. You see what the writing on it? You don't see that? But then I thought about it. I was like, how many other people did I know that have, this thought process of an idea that haven't even launched the shirt yet or haven't even started this? That was successful.
Right.
It happened.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And then also with going back to the pivot, being able to look at the landscape of the world and seeing what's going on. Just so happened that when I went into my deep, dark depression this time last year over Blk Sunflower, there was also times were changing for e-commerce as a whole. And so I knew that I couldn't completely leave all my focus on Blk Sunflower, or the candle side of it, not one, because I like candles, but it wasn't my love. It wasn't my passion. But then two, things were kind of taking a turn with e-commerce, where we had that big change during the pandemic where people were sitting at home, they had excess money. And as a businesswoman, I saw an opportunity. I took advantage of that opportunity, right? But now we're getting to the part where sales aren't necessarily getting less. They're just going back to the way they were pre-pandemic. And so with that, we honestly have to navigate things a little bit differently and being able to forecast. So it's very important that you're looking at current events, watching trends, seeing what's going on, and knowing how to move your business in that right direction. Even diversification of your product offering, whether it's your services or your product line, making sure that you have other things that are going to pick up when other things fall apart, having multiple sources of income. BlkSunflower.com is not what supports me. It's all of the bigger deals, the wholesales, everything else on the back end of things that keeps things running. And so a lot of times people will start these businesses and get really narrow-minded, and this is just what I have to do. This is just what I have to do. But if you're not finding ways to solve problems and forecast what's coming and pivot when necessary, that's how businesses go under. And I'll be 100% transparent. If I, given how I was feeling this time a year ago, if I did not pivot, Blk Sunflower would not be here right now, because my focus and my passion for candles was gone. It was gone. I wasn't going to be able to do it. So yeah. And let's go into that prioritizing self-care. I prioritizing self-care because a lot of us do not do, especially if you're working 9 to 5, you have a family, and you're trying to run a business. That's a lot. That's a lot right there. It's a lot. And we need to give ourselves more grace. Nick, what are some of the things that you do to prioritize self-care? Because I know you've kind of are traveling down that same road of, you know what, I got to take care of me.
Yeah. Understanding when to put it down. Like I'll have my laptop in my lap. I'm in bed and I'm like, I mean, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? So understanding, hey, you've done enough today. Like, you got to realize when you've done enough.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely still learning that one.
Yeah, because I'll look at my to-do list and I've ran off 6, 7 things and I feel empty. And I'll tell somebody that's called me, or I tell Jad, hey, I did this. And they're like, you did a lot today. And I'm like, really? And like, you don't even feel like it. But that's where, developing a plan comes in. So that leads towards your mental health, is if you have a set plan of, hey, I need to get this done by this point in time. And then, build on that, as opposed to, I need to get everything done today. It's not how it works. So that's how I try to help my self-care, and doing things that I love to do. Like, I love to play basketball, so I make sure I incorporate that in my schedule as much as possible, and use that time to clear my head.
Right. So you kind of meshed this one and my next one. The next one was setting boundaries and managing your workload. I want to get back into the self-care part of it. We all talk about having an accountant. We all talk about having somebody to help with your website. We talk about having a bookkeeper, all these things as business owners. One thing that's not talked about is a therapist. I think if you are an entrepreneur, anybody as a whole needs a therapist, but especially as an entrepreneur, get yourself a therapist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it will change everything. I think it's one. I have a therapist and I have a healer. And those two women put me on the right track, I'll tell you. But setting boundaries, my favorite word became no. My favorite word became no.
I'm an expert.
You're expert at no now?
Yeah, I'm an expert. Rolls off the tongue now. Right. Back in the day, it was like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah. That was me. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that. Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, no problem. I'll help you with that. I'd love to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So that hustle culture thing that's out there. Hustle, sleep when you're dead, hustle all day, grind all day. No, I'm sorry. I don't believe in it. There's plenty of business books out there that say take every opportunity, blah, 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 and that. But these people who are taking every opportunity have chefs, they have trainers, they have housekeepers, they have maids, they have all these people doing all the other things for them. And you want me to operate like you? How is that even possible? I want you to name. Oh, go ahead.
They don't tell you exactly how to take every opportunity. So like at the beginning, okay, I get it. You want to make sure you get yourself out there and everything. But as we said at the beginning, you have a certain mission, you have values, you have core values and a mission. If you funnel everything through that, I guarantee you can't say no. You can't say yes to everything. Because everything you're doing is not going to align with your mission and values. It just can't. It's not how it works. That's the whole purpose of having the mission and the vision. So if you funnel everything through that, you'll automatically start saying no to things that don't align with what you're trying to do, and you'll focus directly on the things that do. And if that, continues for you to say yes, eventually you won't have to say yes so much because you're working on bigger and better things at that time.
And then if you keep saying yes, when those opportunities that you really, really, really want come and present themselves to you, you lack the capacity to actually even take those on because you're worn so thin from saying yes to all these other little things. So so you can be doing something. So you could feel like you're getting ahead because you're doing all this little stuff that one doesn't even align with your core values. Yeah. So what's the purpose? What are you doing it for? So when that big opportunity comes to you, either A, can't take it or stresses you out to take it when you should be enjoying it. I've had quite a few instances where I said yes, 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 yes. And then something was presented to me. I'm like, yes, like I'm going to do it because this is what I want, but I really don't have the capacity to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one is building a support network. Nick, I know this has been a huge one for you.
Yes.
Tell us about how building a supportive network has just changed how things function within your business.
Everybody can't be in your support network, and that even goes for close family and friends sometimes. Because entrepreneurship isn't it isn't, I want to say welcome isn't the word, but it's not something that's, especially in our community, that's understood all the time because it requires you to take a certain level of risk. It requires you to do things that are a little bit out of the norm in terms of how you spend your money, how you spend your time, how you look at certain things. So when it comes to building that support network, it's always going to be people who are like-minded, and you'll see, what we're saying once you get into entrepreneurship and you get a little deeper, because some of the questions we were talking about you getting asked, they don't get asked by people that are entrepreneurs because they understand, they know what's going on. They know, if you just started a business, you're not going to know what your bottom line is, or if you're going to make $1,000 from this, today. They know they have a certain level of understanding for what you're trying to do. So that support network is always going to be like-minded people, people that are moving in either the same industry or in the same mindset that you're moving in. So that's what I would say in building that support network and understanding that and being okay with that too. That it's not going to be your closest friends every time. And that doesn't mean they're not your friends anymore. That just means they're not in that support network for what you're doing. And that's okay.
Exactly. When I started Blk Sunflower, I told nobody. I didn't even tell my best friend at the time. I told absolutely nobody about it because I am so used to hearing people, oh, another one. Now what are you doing? Like, and I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to have anybody talk me out of it. And it was so funny. I mentioned this on the live I did 2 days ago, where I would have people make purchases and I recognize the name and I would go find them on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, thanks for the purchase. I'm like, oh, that's you. I didn't know that was you. I'm like, I bet you didn't. Now you know.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because I'm pretty sure a few of them, if they knew it was me, probably wouldn't purchase just because they know me as Jazz, the personal trainer. Not now you're making candles. Like, what does this have to do with
anything? Yeah.
And we like to let that get us down and get to us. But also building a support network, like I said, finding people that not only speak your language, but are dreamers and that are going to support you and encourage you and inspire you and understand that, okay, she may not have answered my text message right away, but I know she's deep in the trenches trying to get something done. I know my whole entrepreneurial friend group, we give each other so much grace when it comes to responding to messages or, oh, my bad, I didn't call you back. Oh, no, I know you're busy. Like, they give your fellow entrepreneurs give you so much more grace than the people who don't understand.
Yes.
Anybody that's watching, let us know if you guys feel or see the same thing. This is one of the reasons I started the collective, the Blk Sunflower Business Collective. It stemmed from the academy, but we have some OGs OGs in this academy who are just the best buddies. People they're in different states, never met each other before, but they've paired up, and I don't even hear from them as much anymore. They're all in their own little world, but I know they're best buddies. And that makes me feel good to know that I was able to help bring people together and help people find support to help them get through this, because entrepreneurship is hard. Don't let anybody else tell you differently. If so, they're lying.
Very much so.
They're lying.
They are lying to you.
So I want to take a moment and answer some questions. Let's see if we happen to have any questions over here.
And last thing on that topic, I don't think that I'm perfect at that. Like sometimes you could still tell family members things just because you're excited about it. That's going to be a work in progress always. Just make sure you lean on that support network when you have a chance. When you build it, you're still going to sometimes slip up and dream around your family or dream around your friends. Like, hey, man, I was thinking about this. I'm about to start this. And they be like, what? Did you start that? And they're just not going to understand it. So it'll zap your energy. Just make sure if you built that network, you lean on it and continue to move forward with it if you feel like it's, something that's for you.
I think this is Beverly. Beverly, I think this is you. One of the people I just talked about, Beverly and Coffee are my two main ones. They became the best of buddies, and it's just so beautiful. And I think this is Beverly in the comments. And then Liz, you asked the question. I want you to, oops, how come it's not showing? It says, how did you guys integrate into your personal associates, or did you? What do you mean by that, Liz? Can you ask that question again? I want to make sure I answer it correctly. And then anybody else that has any questions. And then I want to actually, after this, talk about the TikTok shop suspended accounts, because this is very intriguing to me. I went down a rabbit hole. And the fact that people think that they can get away with the stuff that they were getting away with just baffles me. So I'm gonna wait to see if some more comments come up, but I'm just gonna jump right into this because I don't like a lot of dead air space. Yeah. So if you guys are not familiar, TikTok started TikTok Shop. It's a space where entrepreneurs can go on and sell their goods, their items. But when they started, it was kind of like the wild, wild west. People were selling anything and everything. And I even found some where people were selling illegal stuff, saying this is a sweatshirt. And when you get this, you'll get one bundle of sweatshirts. And it was other things, right? But you guys, people were selling copyrighted material. And if you guys aren't familiar with copyrights and trademarks, copyrights basically protect the original works of authorship. Like is something, an original type piece of work or piece of artwork or a name, things like that. Those are things that you can copyright. Trademarks, they protect your words, your logos, symbols, sounds. This is how you distinguish yourself from another brand or a company. So there's one really big company out there who does not play. They don't care who you are. And one of them is Disney. Disney will take you out. Doesn't matter who you are. You put a Baby Yoda on whatever you have, they're coming after you. They don't care if you're already in debt and bankruptcy, holding on by the shred of your hair. They will come for you and take you. And so what happened is TikTok has realized, or they knew it from the beginning. They're not dumb. They knew it from the beginning, but I think it just got completely out of control. And TikTok could end up getting fined for this. So instead of TikTok getting fined, they just one morning suspended everybody's account with money still in it. Orders that were in there, I think, were canceled and their monies were refunded. But yes, it got really bad. And so I just want to talk about this in intellectual property and the importance of, one, making sure that you're trademarking and or copywriting your intellectual property, and two, not using other people's stuff. Can we talk about using other people's stuff?
Nick? Yes. It's so easy to do nowadays.
Yeah. What's your take on this?
I think being an entrepreneur or selling things comes with a certain level of audacity or a certain level of being bold. And when you integrate something new like that, like TikTok did, you're going to have those people that are going to take advantage. And I can't honestly be mad at them. And I think TikTok knew, like you said, TikTok knew that this would happen, and they shut it down as soon as it did happen. Because I think on Etsy it happened the same way. Like people were on Etsy doing the same level of, just selling things, just selling, trying to get their money up. But I mean, high risk, high reward, high reward. So this time they may not have gotten caught by the big dogs, but you continue to play in that box, they will come.
Well, I
They
don't
will.
know how true it is, but I think they're going after people because not only was people selling copyrighted stuff, but selling like counterfeit purses and bags and having them drop ship as well. So they
Yeah,
have
that was
all
the
your
worst.
information. You have to fill out all your information when you sign up for this.
Yeah. That's
So
can't do that.
yeah, I'm interested to see if they're actually going to go after people for this, or are they just going to give them a tap, or it may depend on the amount that they sold. It might
Oh,
depend on the amount of money that they sold
it's
or
depending
product.
on what they sold. Like if you didn't sell that much, they'll probably look at you like, just cease and desist. But if you was in the thousands and reaching them six figures and stuff, oh, they coming for that money. They want
Right.
that. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get into trademark real quick because I Black Sunflower is trademarked, and even though Black Sunflower is trademarked, I see some things out there, and I'm not gonna say I don't see it. I definitely see some things out there that are utilizing the Black Sunflower name, and um, they say imitation is the best form of flattery to a point.
Yeah.
To a point. Then it gets to a point where it's disrespectful. And some people where it was disrespectful, I had to reach out. And even though I see these things, I don't say anything a lot of times. Should I? Yeah, I probably should. But I also feel a lot of people are just out here trying to get it. So what I'll do is when I reach out to people, I'll educate them. Like, hey, I don't know if you know, but XYZ. And I say all that to say this. We are all extremely creative beings. If you're here and you're watching this, you're obviously an entrepreneur or looking to be an entrepreneur. You have big dreams, and we all are given our own gifts. And it's okay to look and be inspired by something that somebody does or things that you see, but completely copying it, your blessing's going to be taken from you. That's just the way I see it. That's just me. There's no cosmic
No,
thing
right.
anywhere. But for me, you're not going to get anywhere because a lot of these things that I have saw, they've gotten nowhere. And that's part of the reason why I don't stress it. Like they're not going to get anywhere because you're walking over your blessing. What do you think about this, Nick?
Even from that, I mean, you are Black Sunflower. Like they can't replicate you. So regardless of how much that, like, if somebody were to steal that, or I look at, I'm very big on karma. Like I try to keep good karma and everything. I don't want to steal anybody's anything because it's eventually going to come back around to me. And I know that if I steal somebody's idea or whatever, I'm not them, so I don't have the sauce that they had to make it pop. So it's like I can't steal it. I have to recreate it in my own, in my own format, and add my sauce to it. Now, if my sauce don't pop up, that's just not the thing for me. So I think that's where people get upset, or people start to just mimic somebody else because they see somebody else doing something and they're like, well, I can do it and just do it exactly like them. No, you can't. And
You
eventually
can't.
it will run out because people will start to understand, I want the original. I want the
Exactly.
original.
People, and then it's one of those things where you're going to take somebody's hard work, somebody's ideas and their dreams and visions and putting them off as your own. Like that doesn't work for me. That doesn't sit well with me. Go back into these questions. Liz said, we basically already answered the question. Basically, how do we mix business with family and friends? We kind of talked about that. And then this is a good one right here. How do we build a network if we don't know any entrepreneurs? Didn't we do, I think there is a YouTube video on here that talks about networking and going to events, but the biggest one is going to these events, finding networking events. And they don't have to be the big Afro techs and things like that. They don't have to be big events. I personally love the smaller events that are a little bit more intimate
Yeah.
because it's not like this. What's the word? It's almost like not a meat
Bougie.
factory.
Bougie is the
It's
only
just a
one.
lot.
Yeah,
Everybody's
it
trying
is.
to do the same thing and get to the best person the quickest. It's just I don't like it. I don't like
Yeah.
it. But finding smaller events that are geared around entrepreneurship, networking. I have the Blk Sunflower Business Collective. Right now, Nick, actually, I forgot to introduce you as one of the new instructors. I am so slow. One of my
Yes.
goals with the Academy and the Blk Sunflower Business Collective is to bring on other people who are experts in their field to help me bring everyone else up. So Nick has came in with Mitchell Based Solutions, and he's actually teaching people how to start a solid foundation with your business. So he has a course in there right now. The course is $12.99. All the entry courses are $12.99. Gives you access to the collective. As a whole, right now, we're nearing on 700 people, which is amazing, that are in there. And one of the things we're starting off with this course is it's not like other courses or ebooks where you get the book and then that's it. We're going to have Q&A sessions. So if you're trying to put your business together, he is here. We are here to help you through that. It's not just read this and then try to figure it out on your own. But the collective, there are other groups on Facebook. Finding these events, go on Eventbrite, look up business events, look up entrepreneurial events, Meetup. Meetup is still a thing, you guys. People still use Meetup consistently. And a lot of those things are free. Going to mixers, networking mixers, finding people in that aspect. Honestly, being in spaces like this, and if you see somebody that's making quality comments and you want to get to know them better, get to know them. Sometimes we do have to put ourselves out there as well, just as Nick did. We now call him Networking Nick because before Networking Nick didn't network as much, but now he does. Yeah.
So now.
Right. What else? And then coffee. There we go. I was talking about busy. Yes, I met my entrepreneurial bestie in the collective. It has been amazing to work with Bev, to have someone to bounce ideas off of. And right here is Beverly, right below her. See, they knew I was talking about them. I love them.
And to add on to that, if you don't have those in your city, if you're asked, I mean, I don't know exactly what city she's in, but if you're in that, if you are there and you don't see them on Eventbrite or if you don't see them anywhere, that's the gap. So you be that person to fill that gap. So if it's your niche, you make it and you become I guarantee there's somebody else, whether it's 10 people, 15 people, shoot, if it's 5 people, that's a good network of people right there. So you start it, you put it on Eventbrite. It don't have to be nothing fancy or whatever.
Right.
And you be that person, you fill that gap.
Right. And that's another great point, Nick, finding solutions and solving problems. You can go to your local coffee shop and say, hey, I would like to have a meetup with some local entrepreneurs. Do you mind if I use your space? Most of these places are not going to charge you because you're bringing people into their space. And then don't feel bad. Let's say I only have 5 people signed up. That's amazing. You have 5 people who are interested enough in what you have to say and are looking for solid connections. Like, go ahead and make it happen.
That's a mastermind.
It is. Liz said there's another candle maker who had her stuff stolen from her website and they copied her whole site. She had to take them to court. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. But yes, there are people out there and it's ridiculous. And then she also said there are ones that are trying to look like my logo too. I've seen a lot of stuff out there. I seen somebody who named a whole candle Blk Sunflower. And I was just like, but you know what?
Where does she go from there?
And that's the thing. Like, she can't do anything else. Like, this is
you have to follow me step by step. Eventually, I'm going to catch you.
And you can't make your next move until I make my next move.
Exactly.
That's one thing about copying people. You don't know what to do next until that person does the next thing. And that's not how I want to live my life.
Exactly.
All right. So I think that was good. The next one I want to talk about, I think it's time to give away that wax. What do you guys think? Are you guys ready to see who's winning that wax? So we have about 20 people in here. And I said you have to be present in order to win. So I'm going to randomly go through these names and I'm going to pick somebody. If you guys have not had the opportunity to visit Sierra Candles, they're over here all the way in Everett, Washington, right? Everett, Washington. But one beautiful thing, she ships international. She actually has some fragrances that she ships international as well. I have her information right here. So go ahead and follow Sierra Candles on IG if you have not done so already. And if you signed up for the giveaway, I'm going to randomly pick a winner now and see if, let me click on this one. Is she in here? Krista Hansen. Is Krista Hansen in here? Krista Hansen. Let's see if she's in here. Oops.
I'm a big fan of candles.
You're like, I love candles.
Candles.
Is that Krista? I see Lasan. Krista Hansen in here. Just say it's me. If not, we're going to go on to the next one. This is huge because you said you like candles, but I don't think you realize a box of wax now costs over $100.
Jeez.
For one box of wax. And that doesn't include shipping.
Yeah, I don't know what the margin is on that. That's wild.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go on to the next one. Krista was not here. Next, we have Cam J. Thompson. Latoya's like, next. She's like, pick me. You're supposed to be picking me. Cam J. Thompson. Are you in here? Uh-oh. We're going to get somebody. Oh, that's you. That's Cam. Oh, wow. That's so dope. She was the one that we said she was wondering if there's nobody. If she doesn't have a circle of entrepreneurs, where to go? Look at that. It's your day, Cam. It is your day. I will message you on Instagram right now. And we will go ahead and get your information over to Dana so she can get your box of wax shipped out. But don't worry, Latoya, we're going to have more giveaways. Like, this is not the end of the giveaways. I love giving away stuff. Who doesn't love free stuff, right? So, let me go ahead and message.
Cam, send me a candle.
Huh?
I said, Cam, send me a candle.
Exactly. Like, Cam, I need a candle, man.
With me.
Well, listen here. Cam's going to get a whole lot of candles made out of this box of wax.
Yeah.
So this is going to be awesome. Actually, Cam, because I'm sitting here trying to multitask, go ahead and just message me. And then I'm going to get you connected with Dana so we can get you that wax. All right. So next, I want to kind of give you guys an idea of what to expect going forward. So we're going to have another episode in December. So we're going to do one more episode in December, but starting January, we're going to do an episode a week. All right. And it's going to be filled of everything from business education to mindfulness tips, just things to help you live out your entrepreneurial journey in a more fulfilled way, because I think we've been doing it wrong. Yeah. I knew I was doing it wrong. Nick, you knew you was doing it wrong.
Yeah. I'm just getting right. I'm on the path to getting back right.
Right. And I just want to prevent people from going into that slump. Whatever you're doing, I want you to be able to enjoy it. We're going to start doing live audits where you can pick a product, you can pick your website, you can pick your branding, bring it up here, and we're going to do it live review so that everyone can kind of get an idea of not only what I look for when I'm doing brand audits, but what you can look for in your own business. Lessons learned from business failures. We're going to talk about marketing strategy, anything and everything business, self-help, self-care. That's what you will find here. I just want to make sure that I'm creating a space where you can come, feel welcome. Your questions can get answered. And of course, if you want to continue on through this within the collective, we'll have a lot of other things there. But we're only going to have the first 7-ish minutes of each episode here on YouTube Live. The rest of those will be inside the Academy. If you guys are not familiar with the Blk Sunflower Academy, it's a private group within the collective where there's over 60 hours of business-related videos. We have Q&A sessions. We have accountability meetings, just everything that you need in order to help not only your self-care, but your entrepreneurial journey be a more fulfilling one, right? All the information for the Academy and everything else will be listed below. Do you guys have any questions for me before we go ahead and sign off? I went a little bit over, but that's what I do. I told myself I wanted 30 minutes. I think I'm crazy. We know 30 minutes isn't enough for me.
It's going to be an hour every time.
An hour every time. The Academy is $34.99 a month. There's no contract, no obligation. You can cancel anytime. The beautiful thing about this, it lets you know when your monthly thing's about to reoccur. So it's not one of those where it's not like an Apple where 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. You're like, what is the charge?
Oh my God.
Here. That is the worst. And then you look and you're like, nah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that is me.
Like I'm actually on Apple Music right now. Dang. Like, oh,
that is the worst. It's so annoying when that happens. So annoying. Yeah. So yes. What else did I want to share with you guys? That's pretty much it. I didn't do much for Black Friday today. I have what did I do? I didn't do much shopping. I did a lot of stuff and getting stuff ready for the Academy. And that just shows you a test of the time. Like, have you seen those videos of all the stores are empty?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
It ain't the same no more.
It's not the same.
Online shopping and these deals ain't the same deals. Like, these ain't Black Friday. They're not Friday.
No, everyone's like, can you guys put groceries on sale? Can we have Black Friday sale for groceries? Like, they would have killed it.
Put the mortgage on sale. Give me half off. give me 50% on that car note.
Eggs, buy one, get one free, like something. Yeah. I need something better than that because what you guys are giving is not giving enough.
We already got TVs. We got TVs.
Right?
We need those.
We have TVs. You said, oh yes, I did have another announcement. Thank you for reminding me, Liz. This is so exciting. So, one of the things I've always it's on my list is to speak and travel, right? I will be speaking at a candle conference in, drumroll please, Australia. I will be going to Melbourne, Australia in March, speaking at the Candle Makers Conference. I'm going to post the details. You can join online, and there I'm going to be talking about bootstrapping your way to success using strategic product development. So how do you develop products, especially in this market, that are going to sell? Okay, that's what we want. I don't want just people out here creating products to create products. I want you to be very strategic. Yes, she announced it a few weeks ago. Nelson Soap. Yes, she did. I didn't announce it yet, but now it's there. I will be there. I'm going to post all the information so you guys can go and sign up. If you want to join me online, I would love for you to join me in Australia. But if you just want to join online, it's only $49 to join online. And this is her third year doing it. And the passion that she has behind helping candle makers and soap makers get to where they need to go is just beautiful. So once I get that link up, I want you guys to fill that up. It's only $49. $49. And it's a lot of information that she's giving. And I want you guys to join me. And so with that being said, this is the conclusion of the first episode of Blk Sunflower Live, the podcast. I have my dear friend Nick Mitchell here with me. I'm so glad that you were joining me today. Wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so proud of how far you've come, the pivots that you've made, and the steps that you've taken to make yourself whole within this entrepreneurial world. Yeah, she is a sweetheart. Awesome. She is. Rhonda is amazing. I love speaking with her, and I'm just excited to meet everyone else. You'll be there? Yes. Oh my gosh, I love this.
That's tough.
It was a great first episode. Thank you so much, and it's just going to get better. And so I want people to take this as a testament. I've been wanting to do a podcast forever. I've been putting it off because I've just been doing a million other things. But this is what I do on a daily. I go live all the time. So there was nothing different about what I was doing. It's just the platform and how I deliver it. I don't have a fancy background. My lighting's not perfect. I don't have anything perfect, you guys, but I started. So stop waiting for things to be perfect. Stop waiting for the right time, the right amount of money. Stop waiting for perfection and just do. You can perfect along the way. And quite honestly, people love a glow up. People love seeing what you have become, what you're growing to. And so bring people along for that journey. Don't feel bad.
Yes.
So without any, what I was going to say? See, I lost my train of thought. I'm so excited. We did it. We're here. Does anyone else have any more questions before I leave? anymore. Nick, do you have anything to share? Because I
Oh,
know you have a lot of stuff that you're working on now.
yeah. In the academy, like she said, y'all stop by, and if you are starting out your business or you need help starting, and this is from directly starting, like registering your business, understanding that, to getting a virtual office, business emails, everything that you need to build a foundation. And we're going to be doing, I think you said 2 days a week. We're going to be doing office hours where we'll be on to help you guys do that. But yeah, I'm just appreciative to know Jazz. I know y'all know Jazz, but Jazz is like that rock for me. Like if I'm down, and she always be like, "You in the fetal position right now." I'm like, I'm over with it. It's all
I can
over.
hear you. You're crying. Who ran over your pet
Oh
squirrel?
man, I'm like, it's all over. I don't know what to do.
Right.
She'll put that battery in my back, and I'll back up. So y'all have one of the most amazing people on this planet when it comes to entrepreneurship, and when it comes to being a person as a whole, that's leading you guys. So all the information, y'all tune in for every episode, and I'm just appreciative that I got to be on the initial episode, the first one to kick it off. I'm very grateful. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, appreciate it. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And for that, I am grateful. The biggest thing you can ever give somebody is your attention. And I don't take that lightly. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for believing in yourself. Thank you for believing in me. And I hope that you guys got something out of this, at least for today or this week, rest of the weekend, wherever we're at. We're on Friday. Oh my gosh, the week is over. I want you to sit down and think about what your idea of success is. And for 2024, I want you to move forward in that purpose. So I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, wonderful morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Peace.